The Wind Elemental is a really nice mid-game slash endgame rod that so many people are after because it recently received a mastery update. It's also one of the required rods to complete the Castbound mastery called the Journey's End. It has a really cool effect where it drops down a massive sword to give you an increase in your fishing progress, but it doesn't come without its own set of challenges. It has probably one of the most annoying quest chain of 3 quests to complete that we'll be trying to tackle today. To begin your quest, make your way to the Northern Expedition if you're at least level 100. 1000 is recommended for the Seraphic Rod, which is important later. If you finish the Blade of Glorp quest, you can equip your Flying Saucer, which can be a great help in this situation. Also, don't forget to check your accessories tab and either equip your Glimmerfin suit or the Winter Cloak, otherwise you might freeze to death. Also, don't forget your oxygen. Make your way all the way to the top of the mountain, and here you can see where you can kind of get behind these crystals using the ladder if you make your way normally. Then, if you have your Mystic Mirror, you can actually save a location here for easy teleports back. You can see me doing just that. Then just go ahead and talk to the master, learn more about the quest, and receive your first step of catching a big, shiny bait crate at exactly 12.8 kg. And you'll probably be thinking to yourself, bro, that's easy. Pop a shiny totem, go to the appraiser, equip your big bait crate, if you have one, and just talk to him, get it appraised, hope for a shiny one. Well, I learned it the hard way that even though you get the option to try to appraise it, it turns out you can't. It only has to be a fish. It only works for fishes, not for bait crates. Let's have some fun catching a big shiny bait. But to even start off, we'll need to travel to Atlantis, because there's a very specific rod that we'll need for the second part of the quest to receive. You can only do it at the Atlantis entrance. So if you make your way to the coral reef, right in the middle, probably have a guide up somewhere for you. Just jump in and actually swim up instead of swimming down, not to make your way to the Wrath of Olympus, but instead get to the Atlantis. We're after the rod's passive ability for the King's Blessing for our secondary quest. So just look for a trident-like icon and follow the path down there. You'll be probably making a little bit of a swim through all the areas until you hit the so-called Poseidon's Trial. The moment you jump out, you'll be able to see the main gate where you'll be able to find the rod, but instead head to the other way and pick the right entrance. Inside there, you'll be faced with 3 pedestals that you'll need to place very specific fishes on. The first one will give you a slight hint, but basically that's your ancient Megalodon that you catch around the ancient isles. It has a specific hunt, so just have fun catching that one. It shouldn't take you too long. After plopping it down, you'll still need to place 2 more, and there's another room, so don't forget it. The second one mentions a great white shark. That one, once again, you can just catch during the regular shark hunts, and once you have one, just plop it down. The third one will ask you for a Ginsu Shark. This one is a legendary one that you catch around the ancient isles, so you might get lucky while trying to catch your Megalodon. Nothing really will happen after placing 3 of them down, so just make your way back and head towards the second room. The central pedestal will give you a hint about a whale shark that you can just catch using your regular hunt totems, or just it spawns randomly and they happen all across the ocean. They're pretty regular. The second one will ask you for a Hammerhead Shark, which is again just based off of the regular shark hunts, and it should be pretty common and easy to catch. Now the third one is where the challenge begins, as that's an Icebeard Shark. So this is where the top of the mountain is, and if you're looking for the Icebeard Shark in the Glacial Grotto, this is kind of where you have to go backtrack a little bit, where all the ladders are, and on one of the levels, if I can find it, just about here where you can find an oxygen tank, you can actually head inside and drop down just a little bit where you can actually do a bit of fishing. I believe this is the location where you'll be able to catch the Icebeard Shark. No, that's actually not it. But yeah, with the new update you can actually see the fishes, but if you fish around here for a little bit, you'll be able to catch the Icebeard Shark that's needed unlocking the the Poseidon's or the sanctuary. After you manage to catch it and bring it back to the lair, just place it down on the last pedestal. It seems like nothing's happening, but after a little while you might hear a slight sort of like grinding sound. That means that the main gate is opening up, and if you just head back past the two entrances, you'll see that the main gate is now open, and off in the distance you'll be able to see your Poseidon's Rod. So for a measly 700,000, you can just grab your Poseidon's Rod and you'll be on your way to the secondary quest, and we'll need it for the first part too. So let's get into it. I think the guy with the wind elemental rod might be taunting me, because that's what we're trying to achieve. I started off the first quest, and if you look at my inventory, you'll see that I'm leveling up the Poseidon's Rod. What I mean by leveling up is that it has mastery, and I'm not bothered about the golden prize or the title. There's two very specific tasks that you need to do to get or unlock a passive effect. First of them being a 10% chance for the King's Blessing. So basically when you cast out your rods, and there's a little animation that plays, and I'll try to put up a clip here, it basically guarantees you King's Blessing mutation. And you need to catch 75 of these, and it's random, and I think it's like base is like 10%, so this will increase it to 20%. And so yeah, you need 75 of those fish. Then you need to catch 30 giant fishes with the Poseidon Rod. When you get the King's Blessing, it usually means that it will increase your fish weight. I don't know what's the exact percentage. It's by a lot, and it usually turns out to be a giant fish, but in a lot of the cases it just ends up being a big. So if you see here, I also have the Sea Prince, which gives it a 15% size boost. And still, even with that, it doesn't guarantee you that you're going to get all the giant fishes. Now, why all of this is important, and why am I even using the Poseidon's Rod? So the first step of the Wind Elemental quest is to bring a shiny big crate, and it tells you it's around 12.8 kg to the Windmaster. So the problem is that you cannot appraise bait crates. I thought you could, just catch one, take it to the appraiser, do, a few rolls, get a shiny, and then travel to the what is it called? Like the treasure island? Yeah, so the treasure island, and do that little mini game there where you just, increase the weight. It doesn't work that way, because technically it's not fish. These guys are fish appraisers. They're not item. So it doesn't work out. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to level this up, because the most important part is that for the next step, you'll need to catch, I think it's shiny sparkling King's Blessed insert fish here. I can't remember what the name of it is. I believe you catch it in the ancient tile. But yeah, and the only way you can get a King's Blessed or King's Blessing fish is by using the Poseidon's Rod. So I obviously want to increase my chances and also get additional slashes, because catching these 30 giant ones will give us an occasional slashes enchantment. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's just a regular catch. So there's no slashes. The only slash you might see is from my companion, which is the relic companion. And sometimes it does this, as you just saw, like a twister, twirly, mind, whatever thingy, where it basically gives you like a little bit of boost in your progress. But you're supposed to get these slashes, and I think the next clip that I'm going to insert here is going to be me having those slashes to show you what it looks like. Hopefully by the time I'll also have the one increased chance for the King's. So let's continue. There we go. Finally unlocked first mastery. Master of the Tides. That's perfect catching. 75 King's Blessing fish with Poseidon's Rod. This probably took, say, at least 2 hours. As I said, you just have to hope for it to happen. So that should increase the chances of it happening. And I'll try to, I'm speaking, like farm up a clip here where it triggers the passive effect, and that's pretty much when you know that you're getting King's Blessed fish, but you're not sure about the weight. It Usually, as I said, it ends up being big, and in some cases it ends up being giant. Giant is the one that's next that I'm after. Here you go. That looks like shiny one. Based on the sound, it's a bit more common, and that's what it looks like. And there we go. Giant, shiny giant, King's Blessing Trout. And that also completes us the second master. Awesome. Because now we'll have occasional flashes. That look. Flashes at all. Because I'm still after the shiny big bait crate. And I'm not having much luck here. Moosewood. So I might move to the crate location. Oh, it's yellow slash. And that's the companion slash. Maybe that will be helpful. But yeah, I think next step here is to actually finish off the quest where I need to catch a shiny big bait crate. And I'll probably move to whatever the island is called where Merlin is located. There's like an abundance where you can catch some crates. So I'll try that there and see if I can maybe land myself a shiny big bait crate. Also, to increase the chances of that, since the giant mutations, I'll probably swap out the sea prince for, I think it's glittering, maybe? That increases your chances like a slightly bit for the shiny or sparkling meat. So yeah, I'll just go ahead with that and I'll see you in the next clip. This one is for those of you interested in the location I was talking about. So I Sunstone Island. So you just kind of swim past the main area and this is where Merlin, you obtain the Merlin's Rod, get buffs from him. And this is also the place where you actually go get your Orini Falks. So that's where the Merlin is located. You kind of go to this side a little bit, like on the edge cliff, find this cave down there, and if you have your fish radar on, you'll see the common crate location. So basically, if you just fish here, you'll end up mostly getting common crates, but occasionally you'll get a bait crate. So I'm not sure if it works, but I'm gonna try it out and I'll see if I can do, I don't know, 50, 100 catches, and that even gives me any slight chance regarding the bait crate, because usually you'll catch these quality bait crates. Also, I'll end up putting up some different enchants on my Poseidon's Rod, because as you can see here, I have the Blessed and Glittered. So again, you don't have to use it. I'll probably just end up using Opinion's Aria Rod, even though I guess it takes a little bit longer to fish with it, but still, it has the Blessed and Glittered enchants and increases your chances by a few % to get either shiny or sparkling. And then if you also use the shiny totem, you should have a pretty good chance at catching it. Luck is a lot higher for this one, so I'm not sure how that's gonna work. But I'll keep you updated. Regardless, I'm gonna go on this little experiment to see if I can catch it here. And we got it. So I tried it out with Pinion's Aria. Didn't quite exactly work out, so I'll try it out again with the Poseidon's Rod. And it's not big enough. I'll try and see if we can actually appraise it. The treasure island, but I'm pretty sure it only does fishes. I mean, technically that should apply the same for, I don't know, pearls, I guess, or something like that. Technically catch lamb, appraise the thing that's inside. Pearl, let me see if this works at all. I'm not entirely. See if we can appraise this one or not. Okay, so we can do this. Nice. 8. It'll probably take a while. Last time I believe I was trying to appraise a fish to like a certain weight. It took me like 3 attempts maybe. And people kept saying that this is way better than the other one. Okay, I got it to the point where it's above the 12.8. If I take... it still doesn't highlight as green. So I guess it has to be pretty much on the dot, 12.8. That's probably going to take a while, so I'll see you guys once I get this one appraised to 12.8 kg, if that happens tonight. Oh, I managed to hit 12.83. The God's Gaze Pierce being... Huh? Okay, it technically does say it is shiny big. Bait rate at 12.8. Let's just hope it doesn't have to be exact. Now, the way we're going to test it is... I have the Mystic Mirror. And I have it saved at the Glacial Grotto. First of all, a cloak. There we go. So I don't freeze to death the moment I get to the mountain. Teleport there. We can receive this one from the Merlin's quest. So this thing. And let's hope it works. Hey, it does work. Okay. So it doesn't work. It doesn't show it in the quest log. But you pretty much have to get it almost exact. I got randomly lucky. It took me like, I don't know, combined 20, 30 tries maybe. And it was at like 8 kg. So if you get it above, it's probably going to be even easier. But you should imagine that it's going to be anywhere from like 1.1 to like 1.2x your weight. And that's probably what you can go off of. Again, I didn't count, didn't do nothing. I just went randomly and I just hit that number. 12.8 point something or 12.84, whatever. Worked. We move on to the second part. Now we have to where is it? Actually we talk again and he'll ask us for this is the part that I said. Shiny King's Blessing Pufferfish. Okay, so if you remember me saying you have to use the Poseidon's Rod to get the King's Blessing mutation. There's no other rod, there's no other like enchantment, nothing that gives you the King's Blessing mutation. Pufferfish is pretty easy. Shiny is again, we'll have to work through it. Roselit Bay, I believe that's where you catch your Pufferfish. Grab a boat. And just pretty much head straight. So just head straight to the Roselit Bay just by the lighthouse at this part. If you ever did the Orc quest, you'll know this location exactly. And luck. So in around 40 or 50 catches, I actually managed to get myself the shiny, big King's Blessed Pufferfish using the Poseidon's Rod. And it took me quite a few catches. However, I didn't switch up any of my setup. I kept the hasty one just to be able to get the catches a bit faster and save some time in between them. Then I decided to teleport since the quest was still not highlighted and see with the Windmaster if that will actually work for turning it in. And to my surprise, it actually did. So I did catch the correct one. Then we moved on to our last challenge, which was to bring a shiny blessed whale shark, and that's where it gets interesting. To catch a shiny blessed whale shark, you just have to focus on the regular shark hunts. You can just use your shark hunt totems and you can just see them spawning random. However, the interesting part is the blessed mutation. Technically, it's the best recommendation to use a seraphic rod, as a 30% chance to have the blessed mutation. However, it does require a level 1000 and you just receive it automatically. But then you might be wondering, how come you can start this quest at level 800 and it's technically the minimum requirement? Well, that's because the Destiny's Rod exists, but it only has a 5% chance to be blessed. Now add that up with getting a shiny blessed, your chances are reduced significantly. Even by using the Seraphic Rod, it took me quite a while and quite a few hunts. And basic technique to do it is you hook a fish, you see if it's shiny by getting these sort of like sparkling stars appear on your screen, and then you kind of go underneath the water to check if it's blessed, because it really shines underneath the water. If you have both of these combined, great, reel it in. Otherwise, you basically have to let it go. So again, if you're collecting a really high streak, this quest is not for you because you'll 100% be losing. I had to let go a bunch of those fishes, and since I had a cryogenic on my Seraphic Rod, I actually messed up quite a few of those hunts because it would freeze it pretty much right in the middle, and the size of the control bar just wasn't small enough to make me lose it. So I had to keep getting these like new hunts. But after some while, you can actually get it. It shouldn't take you too long, but it will take you multiple attempts, just as it did for me. And there it is. Finally got the shiny blessed whale shark. Didn't actually take that long. Used the blessed cryogenic on the Seraphic Rod. Rainbow went, had a shiny surge happening. And I think I lost like 7 or 8 of those sharks, so like back to back you catching them. Shrimp bait. Bird bait. But it is. Finally turn it in. Should be. Step. There we go. Get the wind elemental rod. And that marks, I believe, the third rod to the Castbound Mastery quest. We got the Igneous Rupture. Still have to make a video on the Verdant Oath. We got the Wind Elemental. Now we still need the Zeus Thunderstorm and Tide Mourner. These will probably take a little bit of time too, but probably not as long as this one did. Oh, nice. It's not even loading up. But yeah, there's the rod. Big sword. I think it has a pretty cool effect where the sword drops down. But that finishes off the guide for the Wind Elemental. I hope you don't struggle as much as I did. It doesn't take you as long. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure to like, hit subscribe. I don't know, turn the notifications on. I try to notify the subscribers when I do post the long form videos. I don't spam you with the shorts. It doesn't matter. But yeah, leave a comment. What's your thought? Maybe have some better tips. What better enchants to use? How to do this faster? And is it even worth it? I'm still on the road to discovery of the Castbound Mastery. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.